to the Mango Effect podcast, where every week we talk about the path to living a limitless life and having the freedom to do it your way. No topics are off limits. We get into the practical, the hypothetical, and the downright juicy stuff. I'm Mindy Rosser, your host and lifestyle cheerleader, and I'm here today to talk about how to do the holidays your way. And I think this is such a good topic because I don't know about you, but when the holidays roll around, I usually have mixed emotions. On the one hand, I'm really excited because it's usually a little bit of reflection time. It's usually a little less busy in the business, so I feel like I usually have more time to think, time to ponder, time to plan, and that gets me really excited. I love planning. If you've ever listened or followed any of my other episodes, you probably kind of figured that out by now. And I really enjoy that part of the holiday season, but it's technically not part of the holiday season for a lot of us. A lot of us think of the holidays as a time to get together with family, a time to be a little bit more social, maybe eat some delicious food, share some gifts, get around that kitchen table, get together in real life, all of these types of things. And I think for some of us, holidays are a beautiful time. And for others of us, I think there's just those mixed emotions around the holidays. Maybe you've had some negative experiences in the past that have kind of affected how your holidays tend to go. Maybe you've had some transitions and you just aren't stoked about what's in store for the holiday this year. Or maybe you're just like, can we just gloss over the holidays and get to the start of the new year? I'm ready with my New Year's resolutions. So I think when it comes to holidays, there's just a lot, right? You know what I'm talking about. It just feels like you're under this pressure, especially with society, because society builds up, at least Western society, builds up what the holidays are supposed to be about. You know, that Thanksgiving should look this way. And then you have that period between Thanksgiving and Christmas that should be very festive, and you should have parties, and you need to decorate, you need to have a tree. You need to make sure you get enough gifts for everyone on your list and make sure you give and give. So I think when it comes to holidays, how you deal with the holidays and how you do the holidays can look very different. I have friends who are very much about the festivities, and they love all of the family traditions around the holidays. So every year, if you go to their house between Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's going to be very, very similar. You know, they do the gingerbread house. They have, the picking out of the Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving. Got the Black Friday sales. They do a big Thanksgiving with the family. Then you have Christmas dinner coming and then New Year celebrations. And it's very, very regimented and it works for them. There are others, like my family, where we just really kind of gloss over the holidays. Like to us, the holidays are really, we feel like they're a little too commercialized. To be honest, do we really have to get every single person that we know a gift? And why? What's the point? Can we just, spend some time together, enjoy a little time off? Why do we have to create traditions around things that are just not that meaningful to our family? And so what we've come to determine and kind of decide over the years, my partner and I, we've been together 10 plus years. And when we first got together, the holidays was we were both in our traditional modes trying to make it very festive and try to enjoy it. And he had some baggage from his growing up and how he felt around holidays. And then I had stuff that happened to me around the holidays when I was a little person too. And so the holidays were just always a little bit awkward. It brought up a lot of memories for me. Some I liked, most of them I didn't. And so it was really tricky to kind of figure out, okay, how do we blend what we want to do on the holidays? How do we do the holidays our own way? Do we have to do it like our friends do? Do we have to do it like our families did? Do we have to do it like we see on TV? Is this really what the holidays are about? And so for us, we did a lot of introspection and we tried a lot of things. We tried doing family traditions. We tried doing let's host Thanksgiving dinner and bring everybody over. Everyone eats food at our house. We also tried, making Christmas into a big thing, like decorating the tree, picking out a tree, cutting down a tree. We tried the fake tree, multiple fake trees, take it back to Costco tree, these types of things. And we just felt like we couldn't quite figure out the holidays. And then over the past few years, we realized, you know what? We don't have to keep trying. We don't have to keep forcing it. We can just do the holidays how we want to do them. If we want them to be nice and low key, we can do them nice and low key. If we want to go to a friend's house instead of cooking for ourselves, we'll go to a friend's house and bring a dish. If we want to stay home on Thanksgiving, we'll stay home on Thanksgiving and eat the food that we want to eat instead of feeling obligated to eat somebody else's food. So I think when you look at the holidays and how you deal with them, I think if you are feeling pressure to do the holidays a certain way, this is your opportunity to say, don't have to do that. I get to do it my way. And let's figure out what works. Like if you have a family and they're kind of counting on Christmas, figure out what works for your family, but have the conversation around the holidays and what is meaningful for you and what is just pure stress. Because the worst thing you can do is just have a very stressful time or overspend or feel obligated to go to all these events that maybe you would truly pass on, or feel like you have to go to all these family get-togethers that just feel completely awkward sometimes. Been there, done that. So figuring this out is not really that challenging. So for us, what we've done over the years, when it comes to Thanksgiving, we tend to keep it pretty chill. And I know this podcast episode is coming out after Thanksgiving, recorded after Thanksgiving. But what we did this year for Thanksgiving was very, very simple. We planned to go to a friend's house and bring a dish. And what actually ended up happening was our friend got COVID 2 days before Thanksgiving. And we already had the dish ready. We're like, okay, this is it. We're just going to bring a pie, bring the side dish from Costco, and we're good to go. And yes, like, all right, that's not going to happen. So we actually stayed home on Thanksgiving and we watched some people surfing cool waves down the street, but the waves were a little too big for us to surf, unfortunately. But we got to watch the pros because they're getting all ready for the competitions coming this season. So that was kind of fun. And then we spent some time just chilling with the family. Like my little guy stayed in his pajamas all day. My daughter, she talked to her friends and just chilled. And it was beautifully chilly. Chilly? It was chilly. Like right now I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I'm cold. But it was definitely one of those days where we just got to sit back and relax a bit. But what was really neat was we were sitting there thinking, we were just talking, we were looking at some restaurants. We're like, maybe we should go to a restaurant and just, grab some Thanksgiving food to try to make it feel like Thanksgiving. Cause it's one of those weird Thanksgivings for us where we literally just shipped all of our stuff to the mainland. So we are still in Hawaii as of the recording of this episode, and we are not quite on the mainland. So our stuff, we are kind of living out of suitcases for a few weeks before we get to the mainland. You have to, and a little bit of a sidetrack here, but what you have to do whenever you make a move from the island to the mainland or vice versa, you have to get like a reload queue from U-Pack, and you got to pack it all up, put your stuff in it, and then it's gone for about a month. So you are kind of living out of suitcases until it arrives, and hopefully it arrives at the right time. So we'd rather be without our stuff here than there. So basically that's what we have done. So we're living out of suitcases. We got no cookware, nothing. So we were sitting in the house and we're thinking, maybe we should go get something to eat. And then Jason said, you know what, let's go get special coffees. Special coffees for us from Starbucks, some pumpkin spice lattes, and we'll get McDonald's for the kids. So we did that for lunch, which was fantastic. And the kids were all excited. They could care less about Thanksgiving food. But our neighbors actually came over. They know we're moving. And they came over and made us plates, like literally mounded massive plates. The giant Thanksgiving plates? You know what I'm talking about. They loaded them up with like there's at least 2 meals on each plate of all of the most delicious, like a kind of a blend of Hawaiian, like Hawaiian style and types of food, and then also traditional Thanksgiving trimmings. And then they brought us a huge plate of desserts. They're like, don't worry, desserts are coming. And it was so sweet. I thought that was the most beautiful Thanksgiving I think I have ever had, because most Thanksgivings I feel like I'm feeling awkward, because if we're at a friend's house, they have a bunch of friends that we don't know, and we're like having to make small talk, or I'm hosting and we have a lot of people, trying to figure out that whole scenario and manage it all and keep everyone happy, which is stressful in itself. And this was the one Thanksgiving that was kind of weird and wacky because we're living out of suitcases, but somebody brought us food. I didn't have to socialize. I got to still be my introvert self, and I had delicious Thanksgiving dinner on the holiday. And I think for me, I'm like, that was really, really cool. But what is also neat, I think, is the way that our family does holidays and does Thanksgiving and Christmas it's just a little bit different. We kind of are a little bit more fluid with how it goes. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, but we don't ever feel that we have to have a specific family tradition, which also makes, I think, our kids feel a little bit more resilient and not feel so attached to, the holidays have to look exactly this way every single year, or, it's not working. It's teaching our kids that, hey, every holiday is a little bit different. Sometimes we're here, sometimes we're there, sometimes it's chill, sometimes we got family or friends, and it's all good. The most important thing is that our family is together and we're grateful for what we have and the adventures we are going on. So that's kind of how we did Thanksgiving this year. And for Christmas, we're actually going to be relocating. So it's going to be different. No idea exactly how it's going to turn out. But I think the beauty of Christmas and just kind of being a little bit more flexible is that it's not going to have to be a certain way. We're not going to be in where we're supposed to be in our, main house. We're going to be landing in one spot and then waiting for the house to close and then moving into our actual house after that. So there's going to be a little bit of transition over the holidays for the kids. So it's figuring out, okay, how can we make this fun? How can we make this feel like an awesome adventure? Like, can we go to Chicago, maybe go see the lights, or maybe we take them sledding for the first time. Neither of them have been sledding. They're going to see snow for the first time in like 4 years. So this is going to be a really fun adventure, I think, and really just kind of embracing it for what it is. And I think when you have that detachment from how the holidays should look, you can make them look however you want. And it can be different every single year. It doesn't always have to be the same. But if you like it to be the same, that's fine too. But I think it's just having the freedom to do it your way is so critical, because then you can let go. Then you can embrace the moments for what they are. If you're in a transition or doing a lot of deep soul searching, a lot of us do that around this time of year. Or maybe we're kind of thrown back into memory land. Like for me, I always have a lot of memories around Christmas and Thanksgiving and certain family members that are no longer here that I used to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving with when I was a little kid. So all of this kind of comes up around the holidays. So figure out what it is for you that makes the holidays feel special. For us, like when it comes to gifts, we used to wrap gifts, and now we don't wrap gifts. We used to pretend like there was Santa Claus for the kids, and now we don't pretend like there's Santa Claus. So here's how we do it. What we do is we tell the kids, all right, you have a budget of, a certain amount of money that you each get to spend. You're going to go onto Amazon on our daughter's tablet, because she's pretty good about organizing these things and doing math. And you're going to fill up the cart with all the toys, all the things that you want for that certain number of dollars. Mom and Dad will approve, and boom, we're going to have gifts. Now they're going to get here early, and now you can't touch them until Christmas happens. But that's how it keeps... That's how it is simple for us, was really kind of delegating Christmas, because it used to stress me out trying to figure out, I got to surprise the kids. I got to get them what they want, but what if I don't know what they want? So by just giving it to them and saying, hey guys, this is fun. This is Christmas. You get to do your shopping, whatever you want to get. And as long as it fits within your budget, you can get it. And as long as Mom and Dad approve that it's an okay toy. I have boundaries around what types of toys I will allow. Little tiny pieces, not so good. Things with batteries, not so good, So I think kind of giving them a little bit of guidance, but also the autonomy. So my kids love it. They're 8 and 6 now. So I don't have to do their shopping. And it's fabulous. And I don't have to wrap it. It's like, okay, guys, on Christmas, you already know what you're getting. And you're each going to have your stack of toys, and boom, that's it. And they think it's fantastic. So I think it's how you set it up for your kids too. Like, do you want them to have that traditional feel? If you love it, great. If you don't resonate with it, but you still want them to enjoy the holiday and still have things to talk about with their friends, you can do it however you want. Take the stress out of Christmas, Xmas, whatever you want to call it, in New Year's. It's really about you having a good time over the holidays and making the most of it, whatever that looks like for you. Like for me, I like to really chill, I think, on Christmas and Christmas Eve, because it's really not a time where I feel very productive, but it is a good time to kind of sit and talk and do life vision planning, which is something I really like to do around the holidays. Is like I sit down, we look at our life vision together, my partner and I, we talk through it, and then we say, is that still a line, or should we shift it? We're going through a lot of shifts right now, I think, with our family, with our dynamic, with our location, with our direction. And so having a lot of these conversations around the holidays is just a really good way for us to stay connected, to stay aligned, to figure out how it's all going to play out, and to really prepare for the different adventures we have ahead in our life. So how are you doing the holidays? Are you keeping it simple? Do you have traditions that you really, really like? And you're like, Mindy, I would never do what you do on Christmas or Thanksgiving. Like that just goes against everything I believe the holidays should be. Or do you really like to say, you know what, Mindy, I'm going to explore how I do the holidays, because what I've done in the past, I just didn't like, or I like certain parts, but I'm just going to make it my way. If you want to build in all these beautiful family traditions, go for it. If that makes you happy, study all the different traditions out there and figure out which ones you really like. Try them. See what your family thinks. If you are wanting to keep it pretty cool, calm, and collected and not do too much over the holidays, then go with that too. I think it's really just taking time, taking downtime. That's what the holidays, in my opinion, is about. It's the downtime. It's the reflection. It's kind of getting ready for the new year. It's closing out what has happened this year, kind of getting ready for the next year, and really understanding how you can connect with those people that you love and care about the most. All right, that's it for this week. I'm looking forward to talking with you next week on the next episode of the Mango Effect podcast. But if you like the show, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listened to podcasts so you don't miss an episode. And if you love the show, I'd be thrilled if you could write a 5-star review for the show. At some point in time, we are still somewhat a new show, so any reviews and subscribes will definitely help us as we grow. And you can also hit me up on Instagram at Mango Effect Podcast. I'm also on TikTok, but my daughter manages the account. So if you want to talk to Michaela, hit me up on TikTok. If you want to get me, hit me up on Instagram at Mango Effect Podcast. All right, I will talk with you in the next episode. Have a beautiful rest of your day.